Hello Advanced Maths, today we're going to be doing 7.2, which is all about finding the midpoint of 2 points on the Cartesian plane. Our lovely Cartesian plane which we're getting to know so well. Remember to label your axis, x, y, and the middle. Okay, now with our midpoint formula, it's really easy to find out what the midpoint is of two things that are on the same line, that are on a vertical or horizontal line. Exactly what we did with the distance. Very, very easy. What if we had the point x equals 1, y equals negative 2. So here we go. This is our point here. 1 comma negative 2. And the point x equals 1, y equals 4. There's a 4. 1, 4. The midpoint is obviously very easy if you're on the same line. We just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points away. That's our distance, and then halfway between there is going to be 3. So 1, 2, 3. Our midpoint is that point there. X, of course, will still be 1, and y is going to be 1 as well. So the midpoint of those two is going to be the point 1, 1. The same if you've got a horizontal line. What if we had the point x equals 3 and y equals 2, and then x equals minus 1 and y equals 2. Of course, it's going to be very, very easy. We just go halfway between these 2 points, and halfway between minus 1 and 3 is going to be 1, and the y will stay the same. So our midpoint would be 1, 2. But what if we had 2 points that were diagonal, just like with our distance formula? Well, let's draw up another one over here. Okay, so we're going to have the 2 points x equals 2, y equals 3. There's our first point. And then our second point will be x equals minus 1, y equals minus 4. Down here. Okay, so we've got to find out what is the midpoint between these 2 points. We can find the distance using the distance formula, but what is the midpoint between these? Once again, we could draw a triangle here. Now, if we remember back into triangles, if we found the middle of the hypotenuse, it would equate to the middle here and the middle here. Okay, so if we drew a line from the hypotenuse, we would actually be cutting this line in half, and if we drew another line from this hypotenuse, we'd actually be cutting this line in half. So all we need to do is find the midpoint of this line, whatever that is, and the midpoint of this line, whatever that is, and it would give us the coordinates of the midpoint of the hypotenuse of our triangle, or the midpoint between these 2 points, which is what we're looking for. So let's find the midpoint of the x's. Our two x values are 2 and minus 1. If they were in the same line, we would have 2 up here, 2 over here for x, and minus 1 over here. Halfway between 2 and minus 1 is going to be at 1/2. Our y values, equating our y values, we go from up here at 3 to down there at minus 4. So halfway between 3 and minus 4 is going to give us a midpoint of 1/2. Okay? Now, this means that our exact midpoint is actually going to be at 1/2 minus 1/2, which is somewhere in there. And we can write it as 1/2 minus 1/2. Okay? Now, the midpoint formula is a pretty easy formula. Okay, it looks like this. We go m for the midpoint, or the coordinates of the midpoint, are going to equal, first of all, our x coordinate midpoint, and then our y coordinate midpoint. Okay, so the x coordinate midpoint are going to be x, first x value, plus second x value divided by 2. Okay? And our second one is going to be the y coordinates, which is going to be y coordinate 1 plus y coordinate 2, also divided by 2. Okay, that's our midpoint formula, and usually we write it in brackets with a comma in between. Okay, so x value 1 plus x value 2 divided by 2, that's our first coordinate. Second coordinate, y value 1 plus y value 2 divided by 2. Okay, so in this case, using our midpoint formula, it will be pretty simple. We go 2 plus minus 1 divided by 2, that's our x coordinate, and 3 plus minus 4 divided by 2, that's our y coordinate. So it becomes, in the end, 1 over 2 and minus 1 over 2. It's what I got over there as well. Thank you for listening to 7.2.